chat. All over the country, neighborhoods get together, you have to be invited and allowed in, and you can sort of look out for each other. And I get alerts all the time saying cars being broken into 4 doors down or 3 neighborhoods over, keep on the alert. And people share their videos and say, has anybody seen this guy? He broke into my car last night. So I don't see that as so weird. I see that as a police officer saying, the neighbor 2 doors down from you is a former cop who said he'd be happy to give you a hand, and he asked me to pass on his info to you. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but it does, but it doesn't. I think it's one thing, Ted, if my neighbor, say it's my friend Mike Brooks. Let's say, for instance, my friend Mike Brooks lived in my neighborhood. I might go to him. But for police to tell me to go to my neighbor, that's where I have the problem. That police, to serve and protect, are telling me to go talk to my neighbor.
Vinny, wait. They're not telling them. They're saying your neighbor has offered to be of assistance to you. If you read the text carefully, they're not saying only call him next time. They're saying your neighbor, Mr. McMichael, has offered to help out here, and I'm passing on his number for you. So I think it's a very different thing than reckoning.
That's the problem, though, Ashley, is that the police reached out to McMichael and said, hey, we got a problem right down the street from you. Hey, are you willing and able to, strap on the old gun and go at it and help us out? That's where the problem here is. I do agree with Ashley that these are all good intentions. All of this is about helping this homeowner out with what he perceives as now a problem of people coming into his construction site. I don't think there's any malice here. I just think that this was the beginning of the McMichaels deputizing themselves and taking on that George Zimmerman were now the police in our neighborhood, and we can't wait until somebody else goes into that site because we'll be ready.
Can I add to that? It just occurred to me when Chanley did her very thoughtful package with all of that information in it, the name Officer Rash rung a bell for me, and I was thinking, why do I know that name? Why do I know that name? It's because I read the police report from February 11th. That's a couple months later, right? And the responding officer, when this happened, when there was someone on the security camera with a flashlight, and the younger McMichael, Travis, went and called 911, the responding officer is Officer Rash. So I think they're all very familiar with what's going on in this small community, and of course they all know each other because the McMichaels were, Mr. McMichael worked probably with Officer Rash at some point. So, I mean, it can sound all really nefarious, it definitely can, and it can all be very innocent, as Ted said. I think it's really, for the 4 of us, really interesting what we say. A jury is going to see it their way.
It's innocent, but it's innocent up to the point that you're grabbing shotguns and .357 Magnums. That's the problem. Is they're almost being anointed by police that it's okay. Call your. The police are telling him to call his neighbor. Then his neighbor decides he's going to grab a shotgun with his son, who I don't think is trained in anything, and he's got the .357 Magnum and he's jumping on the back of a pickup. It's when you put all the pieces together that it does not make any sense. Now let's talk about the alleged chase here. Chanley Painter, what can you tell us tonight about the alleged chase? Because there's a lot of noise on, I don't want to say noise in a bad way, but people talking about, a lot of chatter, I guess is a better word. A lot of chatter on social media about some posts that have been put out there talking about the chase that took place before we see that video pick up the end of what was happening. What do we know tonight?
And that's exactly it. The video that went viral is the end of what happened. Even the defense attorney last week saying there's more than one video of this incident because it was several minutes long of a chase for Ahmaud Arbery. I know we put together sort of a little map to show our viewers the path overall based on 911 calls and the police report, what the movements were of Ahmaud Arbery. And I believe in this graph, there's the red line will show us Ahmaud Arbery's path along Satilla Drive that day from the home under construction, and then as he moves east on Satilla Drive, you can see that he passes the McMichaels home, which is 4 or 5 houses down, and then that's when the McMichaels spot him in the front yard. So the blue line will be the McMichaels, Travis and Gregory McMichael. They go down Buford Road, they're turning around. Now during Buford Road, they pass Roddy Bryan, that's where he lives, and they end up back on Holmes Road here. We don't know exactly what